is they are ready now and an excellent place for fleets to move forward with electric trucks. And I'm going to use the next two slides to kind of give you what we sent you all yesterday morning in the press announcement and in the executive summary, the full report. We have a video and some graphics. But these are our kind of high-level findings specific to terminal tractors. Some of these findings might work for all electric trucks across all duty cycles, but many of them, but they are pretty specific to terminal tractors. So, you know, these trucks stay around the yards. Sometimes they're not even licensed. They're relatively low speeds, light loads, and what we found is that they're a great first step for electrification. Many companies that operate heavy tractors, other types of vehicles, they operate some yard tractors, particularly in sort of that warehouse and kind of delivery situations. And so it's just a great place to buy 1, 2, 10, start that electrification journey, while then you get to the more difficult, maybe tractors later on. Drivers rave about these vehicles, and we specifically use the word rave here. You know, across all these segments and everybody we talk to, it's a lot like what we hear from the passenger car EV. They just love driving them. And we didn't stop with just, okay, you love driving it. We went, tried to go deeper and really understand it. It's things like that you don't really think about right off the bat. They felt safer driving it. And we asked why. Well, you can hear things. One driver actually told us they heard an ambulance for the first time ever driving a truck. We also heard that they're less fatigued at the end of the day. They feel better about driving. One of the terminal tractor drivers actually drove the orange EV truck up in Rouen in Minneapolis, and he's in our video. He actually said many times that he would probably be home watching TV if he hadn't been convinced to drive an electric terminal tractor instead of a diesel terminal tractor. He loves trucking, he loves working, and it's basically extended his career. Maintenance costs lower. You know, we all hear about the benefit around maintenance costs for EVs versus engine trucks, and a little bit of obviously debate over where that will settle, and it'll depend on duty cycles and different situations. But here, as Kevin worked with the team on a lot as we worked on this is a tough duty cycle for the after treatment. Light loads, idling a lot, and we heard from fleets and from others that that might actually affect the recent round of emissions that came in, might actually affect the life of these trucks. That these trucks just will not get as many years as the prior diesels, and have higher maintenance costs around that after treatment. Maybe there's some other components on the truck that could be there too. A positive environmental impact. I mean, this is one of those, could be, even though these trucks are kind of domiciled at one place, it is a place for fleets to act and buy these electric trucks and make a big deal about it from their sustainability efforts. And then we really encourage these last two items to be able to get everything you want out of these electric trucks. And that's one is to monetize all the benefits and the challenges in the total cost of ownership. But what we see here is a lot of benefits that are difficult to monetize at the fleet level. And so they tend not to. And so, and even in our discussion in the paper about TCO, you know, we ourselves talk about, well, the trucks cost more, they'll save you some fuel, they'll do this, that, and the other. But unless you're in the details at the fleet, it's hard to monetize all these benefits. But we believe that there's a lot there that will help the TCO. And then finally, tracking data to prove your business. So a lot of these tractors, terminal tractors, they're just not, they old Rodney Dangerfield, they don't get a lot of respect. They just go do their jobs, and so there's not a lot of telematics or metric keeping traditionally with terminal tractors. But what we're seeing with the electric trucks, and when the truck OEMs bring their products, they're putting on the telematics, they're putting on engineering data loggers, and they're really understanding how these trucks work to then fine-tune them to work best in their operations. The last thing I want to talk about is with this series of reports, we're including our findings, but we're also coming up with what we call lessons learned. And so these are like a next level of detail. These are like extras that we learned in Run on Less Electric, and we'll do these for each of the segments. We did this for, in the January report, we did this here, which I don't know, there's like 25 of them, but these are like individual interesting pieces on electric trucks. But these are the 7 that we came up with here around terminal tractors, and a couple of them, they're all interesting, I think. But the couple that I find it really interesting is, electric terminal tractors are a good fit for firms already using electrified materials handling equipment, typically inside. So many of these warehouses have already gone electric with their forklifts. They've considered going electric with other, robotic material handling inside of the plant. So this is a natural evolution to just go outside of the plant or outside of the warehouse. And then there's a sister to that in the yellow down there. Battery electric terminal tractors can now be used inside warehouses, not just outside the yards. And we're starting to see this begin. I mean, Home Depot made an announcement recently where they're having their tractor trailers and their terminal tractors come through their warehouses to load all of the building equipment, building materials, and so forth. And so this just opens up a ton of opportunity if we can bring the truck inside the warehouse, and maybe some things that we haven't even thought about, because it's now something that we haven't really thought about in the past. So with that, Kevin, anything big that I missed that you want to share?